DeVillay.
And we're live. Little bit of audio trouble to start the day. These things happen, folks. But the stream started. You got to see the video. Welcome to day 2, or day 1, maybe yesterday was day 0 of the Canadian Ultimate Championships junior phase of the tournament. My name is Clayton Howlett. I'm joined here by Jonah Leash. We're going to call this game for you in our open division. This is the New Scotland Blues in the blue from Nova Scotia, facing off against the Alberta Cannons in the white. We're here in Surrey, British Columbia, on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Semiahmoo, Katzie, Kwantlen, Coquitlam, and Tsawwassen peoples. Beautiful place to be. We were here in 2023. It's a beautiful field to use. The smoke's not too bad. Jonah, we've got 1 point so far. How are you finding the game so far? Because you've got the chance to see it off the hop here.
Yeah, it's looking good. A lot of good disc movement from the Blues. The Cannons coming down in what looks like a diamond zone. And I think we can expect to see quite a bit of that throughout the game. There was a turnover on the first point, and the Cannons punched in the first break of the game to go up 1-0.
Blues here taking a shot. They've got something open in the deep space, and that's number 8. Number 9? We're going to tell you who that was. He's actually not on our list.
Oh.
But Blues finding the hole in the back end of the end zone there behind the deep in the zone.
Yeah,
like we were saying, like you do see zone in junior a lot to try and force those big throws, but they found an opening there.
Yeah, it was a nice shot. I was surprised that with the diamond zone, typically you have a player sitting pretty deep, but that was a nice shot out into space on the flick side, and it kind of just faded in nicely to the receiver. Nothing the defenders could do to get there.
That was number 8 with the goal. We'll get you his name eventually. But, it's a team game. We love to shout out the players. They get the assists and goals, but sometimes it's just about, making the play. You might see on your camera angle right now that the Blues here are rocking the true open eligibility here, as they have 2 female matching players on their team. In the open division, it is worth saying, if you're not too familiar with Ultimate, open means anybody can play. There's actually no kind of gender restriction or anything like that, so the division is open to anyone. And typically teams that are smaller, of which the New Scotland Blues are, to get enough players for your roster, you're not going to be able to divide in 2 programs. So they're using all players from the community. You love to see it. That's how I got started back in my day.
Yeah.
Right? And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Players are just going to win on their merits.
Absolutely.
Cannons here, getting it off the sideline quick. Seabolt finds a line up the middle, throws it high, and it seemed that Gregory Kong had the right read on that for a minute, but then lost it, and he feels that was on him rather than the contact from Alexander Rao there. So
yeah, a little bit of contact over the shoulder, but looked like he lost the disc kind of over his shoulder and didn't really have control over the disc.
Yeah, a great no call in that situation. Cannon's putting a zone on right away here. They'll get that through to Kate McFadgen. He's looking for options, goes around. Or sorry, that's Jesse Randugas out there. Delaney Jansen, big guy there.
Floaty shot into the middle. Just a couple defenders sitting there in that position.
Warren doesn't like his resets, but he's got an underneath to Tomlinson. Tomlinson fakes the up line. He'll go back around to Warren. Warren collects, wants that break side. Looks open high in the stall count, points to the deep, goes for the safe shot to Jansen.
Good defense here from the Blues, keeping the Cannons on this open side, trapped on the sideline. They haven't been able to get a swing off.
Warren's able to streak up line and then kicks the break shot. A good layout by, that was, I think, George Wong there. But just a little too far for him to reel that in.
Yeah. Good pressure. Forced the Cannons player to kind of bobble the clap catch, but reeled it in, and that was 2-1 for Cannons. Okay, something I have noticed about other parts of Canada is that there's typically a lot more wind out in the prairies.
Okay, it's funny you say
the Maritimes.
It's funny you say this because I've been told, I talk about wind a lot. Various people, they're like, "Oh, did you go to the tournament to commentate? You just talked about wind the whole time." Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It's a lot calmer here. There's a few flags around this field where we typically look at to see if the conditions do anything, but no, not a lot of wind in the Greater Vancouver area. So you get a lot more floaty and deep looks that stay straight on the field. Arguably more exciting.
I would argue. Zones become a little bit less effective, a little bit more willingness to play some match defense, which can lead to a little bit faster pace of play, in my opinion.
Cannons coming down in a zone here once again, really hustling it down.
Yeah.
Setting this arrowhead zone we've seen so many teams used, also known as the cow zone, trying to force lots of rounds. Keeping it in bounds.
Yeah.
Is number 27, Jonas Bohm, just jumping and getting his feet down in time, but his swing up in the air. No one's around, though, so no problem for Doucette. Daly has an option to the wing space. DeViller finds an underneath to LeBlanc. LeBlanc's going to put it over the top. This is contested.
Oh, what a great D from number 43, Ryan Farron. Oh, but there's a call on the field. It looks like a strip call.
Yeah, I wondered. It looked like Bohm had the clap down. The argument is whether when he was clapping down on the disc, did he have it firmly and stop the rotation of the disc? It's often very hard to tell if that was pushed out of the last phase of the catch or if it was actually torn out of the hands. Observer ruling, it was a foul.
It was a foul.
So the observer is saying it looked like that Bohm had it, and because he had it, it was in the end zone, and then he tore it out of his hands. The catch stands, and it's a goal.
Good stuff. That was a pretty high difficulty shot into the end zone there, kind of a cross-field, bladey OI flick, and to just curl it around the defender where your player is able to make a play on it is not an easy thing to do.
Not an easy thing to do. I mean, that was interesting to watch the Blues there not really care about putting it over top of the zone. When it is this kind of okay, here I go again. When it is this low wind, kind of conditions, though, I mean, you want to throw a zone that's going to force a lot of throws and you're hoping for an error. But if a team has the execution to be like, okay, fine, we'll just go over you because nothing else is going to get in the way. Blues did that, showed a lot of confidence in doing so.
Yeah, and it's quite impressive. This is a fairly young team, this Nova Scotia Blues roster. Most of them are grade 11 or grade 10. Still have a couple more years left playing in the junior division, and to have the execution and confidence to throw these higher difficulty throws speaks well to the program and to the development out east.
Yeah. Coached by some Red Circus players, Ben Wortman and Michael Popick, and also by Sabine Schroeder. Not sure who she plays with, if she does, but didn't do my homework there. But, what I can say about the Red Circus, you've got a strong program coaching this group, so lots of experience to be shared there. So horizontal offense from the Cannons. Warren looks off his first options, but has the slash in front. And Cannons start moving it quickly. Molyneux has the underneath to Warren. He's always available for the reset. Does like to quarterback here. Holds the disc for a long time, but Jansen's able to streak across from the up line and finds Molyneux for the disc. Quick, efficient O-point by the Cannons there. That's the sort of thing you want to see from O-line.
Absolutely. It was a lot of open side unders and really quite tight up the line shots there. The Cannons having to toe the line to keep it in on that scoring pass. I think the Blues, if I'm the Blues, I'm pretty happy with the defense we're playing so far. We've got a lot of pressure. We're not letting the Cannons kind of use the width of the field, and they're having to throw these, again, kind of high difficulty throws. These like, if it's not a perfect shot right into the player's chest, it could get bobbled. They could run it out of bounds. So if they can just kind of adjust their position to be a little bit more upline and not give those ones away for free, I think we're going to see them generate a couple turns down the stretch here.
Yeah. Now, these two teams, this is a Tier 2 game. So these teams are competing in the pool play where they're in the bottom two pools to start. The top rank a team in these pools can achieve in the tournament is 9th. It's kind of a design of the tournament to set up different parities in pool play to make it more interesting, so teams that are, newer or from smaller communities aren't getting absolutely blown out by, teams from like really top end, groups of players and everything. And we've never had one of those games on the stream in the Open Division, I think, since in my tenure. So this is a really great thing to have to see. But both teams playing with a lot of fire and intensity. You wouldn't know this was the bottom two pools.
I was going to say, you say Tier 2 and you think, maybe second-rate Ultimate. This is not that.
No, absolutely not.
This is high quality, high execution. This is good Frisbee. Very excited to open up the official day one of the tournament with this match.
Doucette has it around to McFadgen. She's looking for options. Has Daly coming across unguarded. The pass is high, too high for Daly, but number 8, we need to get his name, is there for the rescue.
Nova Scotia Blues doing a good job of always having a reset option available, willing to lose some yards as this shot over the top, that same flatey forehand. What a throw!
Okay, Jonah, I'm going to get up from the microphone for a minute. I'm going to go get number 8's name. It is time that we get proper credit where credit is due, so BRB.
Sounds good. I will keep the fans at home entertained in your stead. That last point, Alberta Cannons doing a good job. Their zone kind of driving a wedge between the cutters or poppers and the handlers on the Nova Scotia Blues, but the Blues have pretty good patience. Like they're willing to throw the disc back 10, 15 yards and go widthwise across the field to make up the yards in the aggregate. We'll see if the Cannons are able to put a little bit more pressure on that handler space core. Maybe put an assassin on that main reset so that the Blues don't have a release valve to throw to quite so often. We've got a tight game so far here at Surrey Newton Athletic Park. I'm looking forward to finishing out this first half of Ultimate. Welcome back, Clay.
Thanks. Turns out we had a duplicate number was the trouble. Oh, a big shot here right away from the Cannons. This will be contested.
Wow, perfect read from number 2, Joshua Debblejack.
Well, I'm back and barely got to do anything. That was cool. All right. I apologize to the general Nova Scotia community. That was Mathis Hyde, number 8 on the New Scotland Blues. On our rosters here, we've got a duplicate set. We've got 2 number 1s. So, but he's done some work. So we got his name now. Mathis Hyde getting the work done.
I believe two goals so far this game.
That's right. This puts our score at 4-3.
Yep.
Cannons in the lead. I believe we haven't had a break yet. Has it just been holds?
It's just been a break on the first point of the game.
Oh, a break on the end. So that went to Cannons then.
Yeah. So
Cannons rocking 1 break.
Things they keep trading out through the first half. Cannons will start on offense in the second half with a natural break. But no shortage of pressure from either side here. Wouldn't be surprised if we had another break or 2 before the first half expired.
Yeah, we've seen. It's funny. We often remark on other games like, oh, who is our O-line? Do we generally see the same folks in the rotation of the players? Both these teams on our research have no O-line or D-line starters. It's a small community, so it's just kind of rocking the rosters across the whole depth.
First 7 on the line with their knees down get to play. Oh, just a bit of a miscue on the first throw.
Daly seemed to be still running from McFadgen's pass there, so Warren's going to pick up. This is certainly the higher side of the field right now with a little bit of a breeze. Daly, or excuse me, Molyneux and Warren playing some pitch and catch. Warren likes to look upfield for a long time, looking for lots of options coming underneath to find Siebel for the reset. And Cut's kind of slow out of the stack here, but Siebel's going to go for the next option to the speedy Molyneux, and he himself takes off, but it's not there. Warren wants it back, but is covered by Daly. Does get it anyway on the short pass. Big fake. Still not getting any options. Around to Noah Ong. They get the give-go. Ong up the field, 3 feet out of the end zone, has Warren going. It's not there. He needs a reset at the high count. But Molyneux turns on the Jets out of the stack and saves that. But we have a stall called by Mathis Ty. That's the tap on the head signals. I got the 10. You ran out of time. It should be a turnover. So,
see what the resolution is here. Yeah. I believe the observers do keep a stall count going. And should we go to the observers, they'll...
Yeah, they'll listen. They've got some cadence as well that they'll listen for.
This seems like it's contested going back on stall 8.
So I'm sure this is going to go right to Warren here.
Ooh.
And it does.
Blues doing a good job of protecting this open side. Forcing them backwards.
Seeing a lot more pressure now on the up line, and this is generating a lot more opportunities.
Oh. Commentator's curse?
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at it. So that's Ong who brings, or Siebel, excuse me, who brings that in. That is a break for Cannons, capitalizing on that little miscue from the New Scotland Blues. So they now score 5-3. That's 2 breaks for Cannons, none for the New Scotland Blues. But you know, Jonah, I liked that. I wouldn't call it desperation, but certainly that hunger to get that turnover back and putting a lot more pressure on the quarterbacks here for Cannons. I mean, at this point, if you're New Scotland Blues, you're kind of looking to like who's going to lock down Warren, right? Who's got it in them to just dog him and take him. He's been playing every point, so well, not every point, but most of the points so far. He's back out there again. They're holding him to the up line, which was an adjustment, but he is getting the reset. But he holds on to the disc for quite a long time, and I'm wondering if we can see more of a kind of team defensive look from the Blues against that stack to maybe like really remove his options so that the handler can just really dog the reset.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we'll see them come out in a zone on one of these future points. Perhaps just a little handler roll set where they're trading the responsibility of taking Warren and trying to minimize his impact. One thing I'd like to see from the Cannons is a little bit more dump and swing. When they get that disc kind of moving backwards, looking to go towards the far sideline rather than right back up the gut. I think it would help them open up their offense.
It's kind of a false positive. I mean, they keep holding the disc for a long time and then looking up the open side a lot. And it's there. They're getting it. But, like, that's not going to continue for the whole tournament, especially when you play, like, if they were to make it into the crossover, they're going to play a team that's not going to allow that.
It's diamond zone again.
I believe this is
surely a high stall count.
Yeah, but they get the reset. It was there eventually as the Blues are getting some momentum now.
Quite a bit of space developing between the Blues handlers and their cutters. That hug, I'm not sure that was the intended target, but...
It was Tej Dugas who reeled it in, but then his throw probably didn't need to take that shot right away. Really wanted to punch it in there. A little bit of patience could have used the other side of the end zone, but...
Blues setting up in-person defense. Cannons in a horizontal offense.
No shot deep there. It was available, but over the top to Jansen. Lumsden's reels it in on the sideline, and he himself throws it up to Ryan, and these Cannons just continuing to exploit the open side on the sideline here. That under is always available, and it's been working for them so far. Warren is able to get it off the line into the middle. We're hearing the teammates try and encourage their team to get it back to the middle and use the break side. Goodall moves it over to Warren. He gets the give-go to the break side. Love that cut because you get the cascade and the goal to Casey Siebel. Now we're seeing the Cannons exploit that break side, and it pays dividends with, the cuts that follow that's easy to get open for.
I'm really impressed with this Cannons offense so far. Their ability to kind of keep the disc alive and hit the dumps when they're there, hit the break shots when they're there, and really attack the end zone. That was a pretty tight shot. Little backhand around, right into the outstretched hand of the attacking cutter.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And I mean, kind of what we've been slowly over here passively willing to happen is use that break side. So glad to see that. Timeout called by the New Scotland Blues here. Timeouts are 70 seconds long. I learned yesterday, actually, and then I heard about it a lot more, some jawing at breakfast this morning. I asked, what does a timeout do between points when it comes to when you have to pull? And it's additive. So, it's offense, it's a 60-second readiness, right? And then defense gets an additional 20. All the timeout does is add 70 seconds to that. Doesn't matter when you call it.
Gotcha.
So it's a running clock. You can't call it at 59, get a timeout, and then get a reset account. That does
I've definitely
not happen.
been a part of some teams that have tried to do that.
Yes.
At CUCs in the past.
Yeah.
And the observers are very clear.
Yes. I learned that too, because while I asked that question on the mic last night, to our right, which you viewers can't see, is the tent where literally the rest of the observer staff was hanging out last night during the showcase game, and I had about 12 people smiling and looking at me like I was a big dum-dum. So that just felt wonderful.
But what else does with the timeout do between points? Kind of let the teams get collected here. Nova Scotia or New Scotland Blues, pardon me. Couple of execution errors, but otherwise looking good. So maybe the coach is just trying to steady the nerves, give them, keep doing what you're doing, be a little bit more patient with the shots. We don't need to attack the end zone.
I think that's the message. Yeah, just
too aggressively.
Yeah.
Because they're working it through this diamond zone, or through the Cannons' defensive diamond zone, pretty effectively. They're able to hit the shots through the middle. They're finding the space out wide. And they're fast breaking it to their players upfield.
Yeah, there's a big difference, I think, in the fast breaks and taking those overtop shots with confidence, throwing to the open right away versus just oh man, I can score right now. I better take the shot, right?
Yeah.
And that's the turns that have plagued them. So Daly and McFadgen connecting this time. A little chillier off the hop here. Boom.
And Cannons in a match defense here, person to person. Nice upline cut.
McFadgen with the wheels. Morgan McFadgen, excuse me, with the wheels. We'll go around to Daly. She takes off back to the break side. Daly looking for options. Kind of deep cuts, but sticks with Xavier LeBlanc, who's able to get a reset. And then...
nice big juicy under.
Yeah, Blinn wide open. Get back to Daly.
New Scotland Blues with a lot of cutters active at any given time, but finding the space through the chaos.
Morgan McFadgen just tries to initiate that throw out to the open space on the break side. Had that been a floatier throw, that would have worked, but I don't think her receivers were really expecting it. So if you don't hit that shot perfectly, it's a turn.
Yeah, I do like the look, though. The defenders were airing on towards the open side. They had the backhand space to step out and throw it just a little bit higher in the air, and I think it would have been completed.
Cannon shot, airs out. Lots of people in the area. Foul called, though, by Braden Kwan there.
Looks like no contest,
I think.
Or
Where
thought I saw some hand
here.
signals.
I mean, he got hit in the back. It was after he missed it. But if you on defense are going to make a play and you're going to hit someone no matter what, the receiver does have a case to say, hey, man, maybe I would have got it, maybe not, but then you trucked me. So I do think this was over, on my first take, my hot take here, this was over Kwan's head before he got that contact in the back. But so it looks like Daly says, no, dude, you missed that. So
contested foul goes back to the thrower. Yeah, I would agree. On looking at that live, I didn't see too much contact that would have affected the catch, but
Yeah.
maybe on the replay we would have seen some jostling that we missed.
So DeBeljack will get another opportunity to throw this. As soon as he threw that, he looked down at his hands and said, "All rats." So he's going to go to the backhand and pipes it this time, keeping it low. Uncontested that time to Quan, but he drops it.
Unlucky. Just kind of lost it over his shoulder.
What's the old saying?
Ball don't lie.
Well, we like self-fulfilling prophecies here.
Wow, what a shot.
The Blues now showing that patience they've needed earlier, but then decide to go for the huck, so it will be contested. Well read by DeViller, but in turn, he drops it in turn.
Yeah. Just a bit of a floaty shot, some defenders in chase, maybe added a little bit of unexpected pressure to that clap catch. Played it well, had good positioning, just couldn't get his hands around it.
DeBeljack moves that over to James Cannon, the namesake of the team, but his pass not run through, indeed, by Nicholas Doucette. Daly showing some patience, looks for the round break. It's not there. Instead goes up the line to Morgan McFadgen. And she tries to run and gun it, but that pass a little too high for LeBlanc.
DeViller picking up here.
Yeah, DeBeljack again, and he'll call a timeout.
Apologies.
Probably a good call.
Probably.
I mean, this is going to be the same message, I bet you. It's going to be, hey, chill. Timeout over.
Yeah. 5 seconds of strategy talk and 55 seconds of, hey, let's take a minute. Breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, we're fine. I mean, his second throw there to Braden Quan, that backhand, that was money.
That was right on the dot.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
Head high on a rope out into space. But, yeah. Sometimes you just can't get your hands around it.
Yeah, it does
just
happen.
Hits the ground. Happened a couple times on that point.
Yeah. And usually we tell players, just forget about it. It's Asian history. Too bad this one's on tape.
Yeah. So if you're watching this one back, we apologize.
Yeah, sorry. We can take a second right now just to call out some of our sponsors. There's actually quite a big list, so I'm only going to hit a few right now. But we've got Discraft, which is supplying the most important equipment for this tournament, our game discs. One of the spirit rules in this tournament is no spiking. Treat the equipment from Discraft with respect.
The respect it deserves.
The respect it deserves. And also talk about BE Ultimate, the efficient apparel sponsor for this tournament. They gave me this very nice shirt.
Me too. Well, I paid for this one, but wow, what a block there from number 1.
That was Ellie Blinn with the big bring down. You like that quick turnover, but in turn, Cannon's getting the run through D, showing some patience afterwards right away. DeBeljack doesn't like the deep looks. He'll play some give and go with James Cannon.
Nice. Inside out, flick into space.
Evan Taupt, who had that D, was wide open. He'll go to the break side, and DeBeljack with the wheels. Really glad he caught that. I mean, you see the arms out, the little NFL receivership there. No one's with me. I'm going to catch it. You know what my most favorite thing to do as a coach is for junior players or college players, Jonah?
What's that, Clay?
Absolutely lose it on them when they do that, then drop it. It is my favorite lesson to teach players.
As someone who's played against quite a few players who get a little full of themselves, there's nothing I like more than watching them drop it.
How would you have that experience? What team do you play for now? Do you know any of those guys?
Currently play for Furious George. Have a couple guys on our team at scrimmages and practices.
But it's mainly super dumpling people like that, right?
Yeah. My lips are sealed. I won't say anything about my own personal career. No disparaging remarks on stream. Yet. Clay, as we come towards the conclusion of this first half, it looks to me that both teams are getting their legs under them. Like the pace of play is getting faster. We were seeing a lot more blocks, run through blocks, like players defensively playing a lot tighter on their checks. And that last point, DeBeljack really just kind of took over. It was tight shots through the space, give and go in the middle, and then throw and go to the end zone for a wide open score.
Yeah, and with a scoreline of 7-3, like 4 breaks for Cannons, no breaks for Blues yet. I mean, the effort that we're seeing and the intensity seems about the same. It's just Cannons are making less errors. That pull isn't fielded and it rolls to the back of the end zone. Cannons coming down in the zone, but Blues, we've seen earlier, are confident to try and work through it.
Huge block, second effort. Can't quite get there.
Casey Siebel getting that block just over Dylan German.
Yeah, a little bit of an upwind throw and just didn't quite get enough oomph on it.
Siebel is going to throw one back, and
it's a great look. Thought there might be some contact there that caused the
no
drop,
call.
but no foul called.
But Cannons fall right back into the zone. And this cross-field swing is a deadly one. Getting a finger on it was Jansen, but Lewis Mason keeps it alive. He's going to put it deep. We're seeing these deep shots now come in too short.
Siebel doing a really good job back there, shutting down any of these huck looks.
Molyneux finds the reset to who else but Adrian Warren. And Jansen, who's been particularly involved with the handlers, is available up the line. He doesn't like the shot to Warren. Warren will come back to get it. And he goes right back up the line and out to space. Jansen is there, and it's a goal. So Cannons going back to the bread and butter of just jam that up the open side. Seems to be working for them this game.
Yeah, working really well. A couple of players on this Cannons team that have bleach blonde buzz cuts. Kind of having trouble keeping track which is which, but when Warren's got that disc, it's trouble. You know, he's throwing, he's going, and he's scoring up line. And I believe that's halftime.
That is half. That's another break. So the score now 8-3. Cannons with 5 breaks. What we're going to do here, you're going to hear a little bit of static maybe here and there, but halves for 7 minutes. We're going to pull a player from each team here if they'd like to do a short interview with one of us. They may not. We're going to find out. So if you stick around on the stream here, it will run, and you can catch our interviews. Otherwise, we're back in 7 minutes for the second half of some open pool play at the Canadian Ultimate Championships Junior Edition 2026.
In or out, it's your call.
There's no ref here.
That's on us.
Decisions like these are about trust.
That's spirit.
Not a slogan.
But to be fair,
Even when the game is on the line.
It's not easy.
Sometimes it gets intense.
Because spirit keeps the game bigger than the point.
Bigger than the call.
Bigger than me.
It's how I know I can go all out.
and trust my opponent will too.
It's not just rules, it's respect.
Because when you respect the call,
You respect the player.
It's every decision you make.
Every conversation,
Every point.
It's the reason I compete at my best.
And when I have to make the call,
in or out,
I'll call it honestly.
because spirit is the standard.
And we don't play below it.
Make like the most out of this experience and really have so much fun and try to be as competitive as we can.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I'll ask you one more thing, just because it looks like we're getting going here. I mean, I pulled you out of the halftime huddle. Do you think in 10 seconds or less you can tell me what was that halftime about?
We were talking about really trying to keep aggression up and really build energy in these next few points to try to get back and claw, try to get a couple points to really bring this game back a little closer. And hopefully try to squeeze out a W to finish it off.
Fantastic, man. Well, thanks for doing this interview. I'll let you get back with your team on the sideline here.
Thank you very
Good luck.
much, Clay.
All right, cheers.
Thank you.
Just had to be muted there for a second, but you see the new Scotland Blues coming right out of half, getting a goal, and that was thrown to number 6, Jessie Rendugas. She went down line screaming, "I'm open, do it!" And it was the right call.
The great throw right into her breadbasket. Really good way to start off the second half. It's tough, starting on defense out of the second half, down a couple breaks and
Oh, that was a break.
getting scored on again. That was a
Yeah,
break. Yeah, it was a
that's
turnover right off the rip.
Yeah, great momentum shift, actually. If you're going to come out of half and then instantly get that turn and goal, I mean, when you're down, you need that to start the second half fresh. And, like Nicholas just said, we're going to reset here, try and squeeze out that W. What a wonderful way to do that. Start half with a quick capitalization. on a air like that.
Yeah.
So haven't seen Cannons starting on O very much. I'm curious to see what kind of set play repertoire they have here.
I'm also excited to see what kind of defense the Blues come out in here. They've been playing match, pretty honest defense, protecting the underspace against Cannon's horizontal offense. But we'll see if either team mixes things up here. Nice pull.
Yeah, Doucette's pull lands inbounds, a little bit of a bouncer. So Ty able to get down there on the mark, and we're seeing a slough. Not quite as well. I do believe it is a zone.
Yeah, it looks like a sort of a diamond. Yeah, it's a diamond.
Yeah.
Both teams running the diamond.
James Cannon able to keep that alive after it bobbled off one of the other reset's hands. The Beljack will find Ryan.
They're doing a great job of just finding the space through the zone. To Beljack.
Calls
a nice shot, but it fades a little too far inside, and the Blues with another chance to get a break.
So Doucette will pick up, seeing match defense here from Cannons. Gets that over to Blinn. Blinn wants the break up line here, but not there. Goes to the middle, and LeBlanc's unable to reel that in, defended by DeBelgic.
DeBelgic kind of doing it all this game so far.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. Big Hucks, Big D. Screaming into the end zone earlier, arms out for the go-ahead goal.
Oh, big layout attempt from number 10, Spencer Orzek. Oh, pardon me, Nicholas Doucette.
Yeah, just a little too far, but you love that effort coming out. I mean, yeah, they have their shots. I mean, the Blues certainly not worried about what the numbers say score-wise, still making the effort to stay in this game. 9-4. These games are capped via soft and hard. That means at 75 minutes, a point will be added to the highest score, and it's a game to whatever that is. And at 85 minutes, a horn will go, and it's finish the point, finish the game, unless it's a tie.
Just past the 45-minute mark here.
So I
don't think we're going to get to that point.
Okay, yeah, who knows? I've said that before and been very wrong. I mean, if we get the trades still, I mean, if you think about it, the best the Blues can do, if you're looking at that foregone conclusion of, okay, you're not going to catch up, it's too far away, is to trade. We actually saw that in the showcase game yesterday between Toro and Dino, where Toro, the score is 14-6. The final score of that game was 14-11.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's because Toro just wouldn't go away. And point differential, if there's a tie in your pool, point differential matters.
Mm-hmm.
So having a -3 versus, a -9 or something like that is a big deal. So, Blues at the very minimum got to be looking to trade the rest of this game to get that score up. But
yeah,
they've generated that first break as they face off against this Arrowhead zone. Looking to move the disc quickly. We'll go over the top. And Chuck immediately to the deep. And it works to Travis Lloyd as that's just over the fingers of the deep defender from Cannons. I believe that was Casey Siebel.
You believe correctly.
All right, who just missed it. I mean, that's fine for the New Scotland Blues. You want the goal, but you don't want to get into that mentality of it doesn't matter. If it works, it works, because that was certainly a false positive.
Lloyd did quite a good job there. He was at the back of the end zone, saw that the disc was pretty high, and took a couple steps forward. And sometimes when you're the defender, you hear those footsteps and you get antsy and you think you need to jump early. And Siebel does jump early.
Yeah.
And then Lloyd's able to kind of backtrack, take a couple steps back, and it's an easy pancake catch. But a little gamesmanship. Who knows? Maybe a little bit of luck. But the result is a New Scotland Blues score.
So
you were mentioning earlier point differential matters. So like,
yes,
if these teams end up in a three-way tie or maybe even a two-way tie to decide which team goes through to the crossover games.
Yeah, there's quite a few different methods of tiebreaker. You can look at head-to-head. You can look at point differential. Eventually it comes down to a coin toss. If you get to like the 13th tiebreaker or something like that.
I've had that where it's a three-way tie, point differential is deadlocked, and then the three teams had to play a mini round robin, games to 3 to decide who went through.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, this zone look from the New Scotland Blues is being very easily dealt with by the Cannons right now. We've seen them find the gaps quite quickly and use the width up the field as they're doing right now. Loving how they're not looking upfield too long. The option's not there. I'm going to look to my handler reset. Excellent.
Now, one of the things the Cannons are doing really well is it's getting in front of the defenders on the Blues. You'll see streaking in from the backfield, the Cannons are coming and getting in front of the defenders, which makes it really easy to get the disc. If the Blues are able to kind of stay with the Cannons cutters as they come under, they might be able to deter those throws upfield, but so far it's a little bit too passive from them.
Yeah. And the momentum goes a long way as they get into match defense here, but nobody is with the Cannon offense. It seems to be Cannon offense playing by themselves out there, as now finally the Blues are able to find their checks, and with a little flashy pickup, Joshua DeBeljak reels that in.
Yeah, that was steezy. Hands at his side, catches it, no worries. Just gonna hop myself into the end zone.
I wish I was that athletic still. Yeah. You're doing it, right?
Trying my best.
You're still playing seniors. Yeah, you got it. But no, very flashy. He has been doing it all this game. The score now, 10-5.
But the Cannons also, obviously DeBeljak and Warren doing a good job of kind of marshaling this team down the field and down the stretch, but getting everybody involved. They're seeing whoever's open and hitting them, and that's such an important thing in a team sport like Ultimate. If you're looking off players, even when they're open, just because it's not one of our stars, your team's not gonna really get clicking.
That will catch up with you, right? You're eventually gonna run out of options or momentum, and it's kind of an interesting contrast too from the Cannons here, because I mean we've seen with this line out there right now, holding the disc about to pull. That is Adrian Warren, who we interviewed, and he's been just looking downfield, 8 stalls, calling shots and looking for the reset, while the other group with DeBeljak in the back has just been zippy, moving the disc and looking for lots of options. I mean, that could be, teams have pods sometimes in different styles, right? So it could be they're okay with a little bit of variety in how they're going to do it. Arrowhead zone.
Let's see, you can watch number 42 Warren in the middle of the field, kind of facing away from the disc, looking for potential threats upfield and staying underneath of them. Kind of what we were talking about last point. As long as Warren keeps his spacing underneath, big shots like that are going to go up, and they're a little bit more risky.
So that read there by George Wong doesn't reel it in. He was close. But lots of room here for Spencer Orszczyk to get that upfield throw. He pitches that back to Warren. And he'll get it back from Noah Ong. Calling the shots. You see him downfield, hand signaling. It's not there, so instead he'll go around to Siebel. Siebel also taking a long time to look upfield for cutters. Doesn't really see his options. He'll put it out to the back. And not the intended receiver, but Isaac Molyneux in the area to reel it in. His teammates high-fiving him, giving thanks for his heads-up play there to keep that alive.
Cannon's athleticism kind of coming into play here. Winning a lot of these 50-50 sky balls, not necessarily winning them high in the air, but having the presence of mind to say, hey, you look like you might be misreading this. I'm going to get in there and pick up the garbage, as it were, and it working on that point specifically.
Yeah, that second effort and always trying to keep playing if you're not the intended receiver or anything like that always pays dividends. That's another break now, 2 in a row there for Cannon. So the score, 11-5. We see the energy from the Blues dwindling a little bit. It is hard. They seemed like out of half there. Like they started on a good note. They got a break. They had a hold. And now it's 2 breaks against you. You're probably feeling somewhat demoralized just because you're like, okay, this is once again feeling like the first half. So
yeah, it is a game of momentum, especially on junior teams that haven't been to that many tournaments. At halftime, we heard this was the Nova Scotia Blues' first time in a while.
First time in a while. Yeah, it was revived in 2024. They with the first team since the break being formed in 2025. So yeah, it's been a while since they've been around.
Looks like an offside call.
Yeah, offside call.
Oh, and they start.
Yeah, if this is the second offside, the field position is half. You don't need to play the offside. You don't need to take the punishment. But on the second one, it is field position. That bounces out of the hands of DeViller. And now the Cannons, who have had so much momentum, have a chance. That is James Cannon with the disc. He goes to DeBeljack, and they'll presence of mind again. They try and play together, but Delaney Jansen keeps it alive off that errant throw.
Ooh. Close. Big bid there.
DeBeljack and Cannon doing the give-go. And DeBeljack's inside break throw is a little late. And Ty was there to get the run through D. And this huck went the wrong way. And you hear an immediate apology from Doucette. My bad. Sorry, Mathis. That was not where it was supposed to go.
It's tough when you hear your own sideline go, ooh,
ooh,
as it leaves your hands. But that's all right. Knows he made a mistake and has a chance to get it back on defense here.
I believe the kids would say that throw was cooked.
They would say that. They would say that.
DeBeljack centers to Cannon, and he'll get it back off the streaking give-go. Speaking of give-goes, it goes back to Cannon, but it just bounces off his hand again. Doucette will pick up his throw. I saw what he was going for there, but Ellie Blinn was never really open for that throw. DeBeljack's going to throw it right back to number 2-6.
Oh,
and he elevates to get it, but Doucette just robs him. And he'll take a big throw to the break side here. Can it be towed? No.
Almost. Just kind of didn't quite take the right line to that disc. Got underneath it and ended up having to chase it at the end.
Some excitement this point as we're getting some big throws back and forth, some big plays. And that's out of bounds by DeBeljack. He was looking at, it's tricky. There's two lines. There's a blue line for the get back line for the players and a blue line for the sideline. He thought the get back line was still in bounds.
Yeah, and the heat of the moment, all those cones look like what you're supposed to be watching, but not the right line.
DeViller gets it around to Morgan McFadgen. She'll find Daly. Daly out to space for Ellie Blinn, coming under to get what would have otherwise been a defended throw. The intended receiver. And a great bid.
Huge layout block from who else but Joshua DeBeljack.
I was just going to say, who else? He's doing it all this game. Hearing Coach Cody from the side, chill, let's go. Just take it easy, play the game you can play. She's calling the timing for her players.
Great shot, not quite jumped in, just on the goal line.
Kwan gets that over to Taupt.
See if the Blues can apply some pressure here on the goal line. One of the hardest spots to score from.
And Cannon gets the easy throw there to Willem Goodall. So that point with some fireworks is another break for the Cannons. That point's a tough one to lose. We had lots of bids and everything, and when it goes back and forth like that, your opponent's made some bids, made some big plays, you've made some big plays, you get it back, and then you turn over and lose the point. You're like, man, what else can we do?
Yeah. Well, all you can do is get on the next line and try your hardest.
Yeah.
It is good to see the Blues are continuing to fight, like making those big plays. That disc goes up, they're getting bodies underneath it, that disc is coming on the around, they're laying out to try and get the block. Still signs of life here, despite the score being 12-5 in the favor of the Cannons.
Yeah. Love to see that excitement when you have a scoreline like this. You know, I feel that, you know, if you're most juniors level teams at nationals, if you're at nationals, the score doesn't really matter. You're just playing for every point, like it's the only point. And I feel like in juniors, that's not at this tier. Right, of being like you're a national level team. You don't need to talk to your players about, hey, we're not gonna like give up, throw up our hands and walk away from the field despite the score and everything. Like fight for every point because you're at nationals.
You're at nationals.
You know,
If
and
not now, then when?
yeah. This pull from Warren will land in bounds. Favorable bounce. As the disc is moved over to Lewis Mason. And a shot goes up right away to a wide open George Wong over top of the zone. We hear a melt call for the Cannons, and that throw is just behind Caleb Miller, unable to slow down to reel it in. Warren picks up, finds Ong. Molyneux didn't really have any options, so he'll get into a give-go here with Ong. Warren always punishing that space in front. And his pass is just a little too floaty. And easily defended by the Blues.
Huck look. It looks pretty good. Gets up and attacks it. What a throw.
George Wong once again making that attacking run into the deep space. So a pivotal hold here for the Blues if they want to keep any momentum, or sorry, any energy, I should say, in this game and generate some momentum. We see them continuing to kind of punish the wings and the over top of the zone here. At this point in the game, I think the Cannons are probably okay with that.
Yeah.
Thinking, all right, well, those aren't givens, you know, where they're going to make mistakes there. So that puts them in a good spot to say, we'll keep the pressure on on the underneath and let them take the shots. It's not going to work every time.
I would like to see, because it has happened quite a few times this game where the Cannons deep has kind of been pulled over to the far side of the field rather than playing on the side of the field where the disc is on. And to kind of build some good habits for the rest of the tournament, it might be an adjustment to make to kind of err on the side of, if the disc is on the open side, you should collapse down towards the open side because the Blues have shown more than a willingness to put that one up into space.
Yeah, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like that open side wing, or sorry, the same side wing is not conservative enough. They're like just dropping in a little too much and just kind of giving that shot.
Yeah, just kind of playing the space, not really seeing that there's a person there. Anyway, the Blues in their own diamond arrowhead zone here.
Horizontal offense, that throw, it seems that Juan was thinking about it if there was a foul, but that throw is a little too floaty, and Jansen is able to get it back right away. DeBeljak gets the break around, back to Quan, and they play
Big
together.
Layout.
Just keeping it in his hands. Looks like the ground knocked it out. He just had his thumb and index underneath to keep it alive, and throws it out to Jansen, and he'll give it right back. Cannon's making DeBeljak run onto everything right now. Lee doesn't really see anything underneath. He'll turn around and find Cannon. Safe choice. DeBeljak looks off the backhand. Huck looking for something in the middle. We're seeing him reset the style count and get it back right away a lot. Seems to be a strategy from Cannons here. Quan goes to the middle. Lee comes back, but it's not there. Quan sticks around. Haven't seen him in the handler space much, but he decides to remain the bail. Jansen doesn't take the swing right away. He's got an open break swing, but instead he can get a gain to the DeBeljak. You want it in his hands. No look reset to Cannon.
A little bit more steez.
Jansen doesn't want the overtop. Goes smart. Quan off the front and just bounces off his hands. Slight mental lapse there. Picked up by Daly.
One of the hardest things to do for a team is go from that defensive mindset where you're running as hard as you can, trying to keep the energy high, to an offensive mindset where you're trying to keep possession alive and be patient. See if the Blues can execute here.
Daly thinks about the Huck. It's not there. Has Blinn underneath still. Has it. Blinn getting lots of input from his team for a pass.
A lot of traffic around the disc.
Goes to Daly. They'll play together a little bit as it's now back with Blinn. He looks for the give-go. It's not there. Morgan McFadgen is open. Elevate's not there, but instead LeBlanc brings it down. Daly now. Finds Blinn. Now we're seeing some Just front of the disc movement from the Blues here. Until Doucette airs it out to Mathis Ty for the I would say, high side score here for the Blues. The score now 12-7.
Yeah, that's a break, I believe.
Yeah, you believe correctly.
I do believe That's awesome. Mathis Ty really putting his stamp on this game. I believe that's his 3rd point of the game, scoring nearly half of the Nova Scotia Blues goals. Really has a nose for the end zone, cutting to the open space, and his teammates probably know that and trust him to get open, willing to put those shots up, even if they're a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I think Mathis Ty is my MVP on the blue team.
So far, I would agree with you as well.
Yeah. Just been a big playmaker this game. I mean, lots of solid players for the Blues here. I wouldn't, say he's carrying the team or anything like that, but definitely been the playmaker and keeping his team in it in some crucial moments here.
Yeah, that's what you need on a team. Where, I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is scoring points, and if you're the guy scoring all the points, you're going to be having a big impact on your team's success.
So, this pole is a roller, so it's going to bounce. Little soccer skills there to keep the disc in a favorable position.
Looks like match defense here.
Yeah, they flashed a zone, or at least flashed a slough, but Cannon.
Nice little inside chip shot to Jabeljek.
Was in power position, but the strikes were a little too early, so he'll reset it around. Jadson now puts that out. It's in front.
Second effort, keeps it in.
Farron Ryan. Oh, did
the observer?
He throw it down thinking he was out?
He thought he was out. The observer on the sideline called him in, but he had his head down and didn't see it and just dropped the disc.
Oh, no. Well, it's probably a good time to learn when you're up 12-7. Another one you can watch back and regret. And then he gets the hand block back, so he'll remember that one. We can forget about that mental lapse as he shows the focus to get it back. Jensen now is going to put that out in front of Willem Goodall, who digs it out. It's not in.
Huge layout for the score. That point had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. That's a fun one to watch. When the Cannons go back to the hotel tonight, they're going to watch this game, and this point will generate lots of oohs and ahs, I'm sure. I mean, after everybody gives Farron Ryan a hard time about
throwing the disc away. But if he hadn't thrown it away, he wouldn't have gotten the hand block, so.
That's true. Yeah, you can't get a hand block if you're on offense. I mean,
perhaps it was by design.
Yeah. Now, I wasn't sure who caught that goal. We like to highlight everybody, of course. But you're right. The everybody with the buzz cut, bleach blonde hair here is making things difficult.
I feel like I need a pair of binoculars to be able to see their end zone.
Regardless, they'll know. Big play. The score now 13-7.
Cannons just need 2 more to put this one away.
Our timeline here, we're at 68 minutes right now. So this will likely be a game to, well, it could be a game to 14 or 15. We could get soft cap here. We'll see. If the Cannons score 1 more point before that cap, it will be a game to 15.
Adrian Warren with the pole. Coming down, rolling. Daly stops it.
Morgan McFadgen facing off against the Arrowhead zone here. Goes up high, but misread by both 27s, Bohm and Lee, but Lee making the effort there.
Yeah, full volleyball run up and spike.
Indeed.
I think if you're Bohm, you kind of have to recognize, he's not actually
in
going to get to this.
Yeah.
I got to play as if this disc is still alive until it hits the ground.
Seabold moves that over to Molyneux, who gives it back, but it's too far. Daly's there to watch that and smack it to the ground. He'll bring it to the line.
Cannons
a little disorganized, so Doucette's wide open.
They have been running their zone look off of the turnover, but it looks like they're just playing match right now. What a grab! Jonas Bohm.
And that time showing the presence of mind to get the throw not meant for him. Daly looking for options. The Blues all on one side of the field, and Oliver Lumsden reads the whole play, gets the run through D. Warren is going to put that out to space, and Lumsden elevates to keep that alive.
Blues looking a little bit confused about what the force is. It was forehand before, now it's backhand. Inside shot, a little bit too inside.
Yeah, I almost should have been an around there. So the Blues now on this sideline. They've been trapped there before. I feel like they're trying to do a better job right now spacing and spread the field. Daly with the disc now. He's going to shoot. This will be contested.
Wow, what a read.
Ellie Blinn with the read over everyone. He'll put it out.
Another one.
Doucette and Lumsden. Lumsden robs Doucette to keep it alive. And then throws a scary pass to Warren. His pass fielded by Siebel off the turf.
Bodies are hitting the deck.
Molyneux is out of bounds.
Just out of bounds.
Daly will pick up. He's directing traffic, asking for different options. Several in the area, but it's DeViller. Moves that around to Doucette. And he throws a dot to DeViller, and it looks like DeViller had it, and then he just misstepped, got off balance.
That was a beautiful throw to just have it sit right in front of the receiver. But got a little excited and
yeah, I forgot I was commentating for a second. I just kind of watched it. I was like, ooh. But timeout called by Adrian Warren. So the timeouts, it's going to be 70 seconds for the Cannons here to signal offensive readiness. I got to tell you, commentating these timeouts feel like an eternity. And when you're playing, you feel like
way too short.
Yeah, the observers are telling you that you have 20 seconds, and you're like, we just started. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Teams bringing them water.
Yeah, Cannon's working really hard late into this game. I think they've got 2 more games today.
They do, yeah. This was the first round
of
Open today, yeah.
And a little bit of tournament management is a thing that you need to start thinking about if you're a coach. They've got, I believe, 17 players total that they've brought. And, you know, the first game, you can really ride your starters pretty hard and have them play a lot, but as the tournament stretches on, they're going to start getting tired. So something to think about is making sure that everyone's getting in and your top players are getting the rest they need to be able to perform down the stretch. But these kids are young and they don't really look all that tired.
Yeah, they don't look all that tired. The Cannons are have we mentioned that they're a Team Alberta, well, they're Team Edmonton Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2
cities. I don't think we've made that clear to our viewers. So if you're watching, Cannons are a 2-city team from Edmonton and Calgary.
2-city team. They had 3 training camps. I want to say 2 in Calgary and 1 in Edmonton. I might have that backwards, but had to commute 3 hours in order to all practice together.
And this is only their second tournament of the year. The first being I believe the BC Provincial Championship to qualify for this event.
Warren puts that out to space to Lee. Lee doesn't look the options upfield until he finds Siebel coming underneath off a second cut, and he puts that out to space to Molyneux. Easily not in, though.
It's a great shot.
Hearing the chili call from the sideline. Take your time. Kind of puts it up high, and unfortunately the cap clutch by Spencer Orzik. He clapped too hard.
Clapped too hard. Put his hands right through the Frisbee. We've seen quite a few of those today.
These emotions.
Like, these emotions. Also these like high floaty shots that are going over people's shoulders and they're trying to track it, looking up into the air and kind of get disoriented maybe.
Oh, and Daly's pass a little on the outside of Blinn. I should say a lot on the outside of Blinn, and sails out of bounds. Warren will pick up, no surprise.
High release backhand. Oh,
and great
Daly
read by
almost
Siebel.
there. Does a good job to make a safe play on that defensive attempt.
Yeah, Daly had no choice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have certainly got a yellow card right there, and a lot of pain going for that, but that is the right thing to do to not hit an opponent on the blind side. So that puts our score at 14-7. That was a break for Cannons. This will be a game to 15 unless we hit the 85-minute mark, which will be in 11 minutes. So you'll hear a horn probably soon, everybody, and that will signal soft cap. Irrelevant to us at this point. So if Cannons score, the game will be over. The Blues can rack up some points in the next 10 minutes to try and get that point diff. It is safe to say, specifically too, when timeouts are allowed in cap, I don't think there's any way with the time between points and so forth that Blues can make up this deficit. They're just going to run out of time before hard cap. Is that safe to say? Back me up here.
I would agree. There's always a chance. You can't count any team out, but mathematically,
doesn't really work out.
It's not looking good.
If you could convince, the offense to put their hand up at second one after a point,
it's possible. But
it's possible.
But the coaches are on the sideline, letting them know, hey.
Yeah. Finals will be soft only, and they have, or there might be hard cap as well. But the time. They're 2-hour time slots. They're a lot longer. So
it's good. I love to see games go out, finishing on a time cap never feels as good as finishing on a score.
Yeah. Puck from the Blues here.
And it's perfect. An absolute dime.
And
from George Wong. Shooting deep to number 9, Dylan German.
Yeah, I believe that was actually Regav Chala. He doesn't have the right, or Chavla, excuse me. He doesn't have the right number on. But we've seen it. Yeah, he does. He has made some big plays this game. We had a few number discrepancies with the New Scotland Blues here, so we've done our best.
Yeah.
But I believe that was Chavla putting that out to space. He's wearing a coach jersey, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing a number 17, which isn't on our list here.
So apologies to those players. Unfortunately, sometimes these things get lost in all the logistics. We do our best, but yeah, I will shout out number 17 as well. I believe Chavla's number 77. Number 17 has done a lot of great handling this game as well.
Yeah.
And made some plays. Unfortunately, can't
shout them
get
out
his
by
name
name
here. But when you're sending your video to scouts, they're not listening to us. I can tell you, having done my own, scouting videos, you mute the commentators pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You don't want to get, your opinion changed by their hot takes.
We have lots of them.
We have lots of them.
Blues with a chance to get a break here. A little spin pull. Some pizzazz. And that comes to about the brick mark.
Jansen moves that over to Martin. He throws the inside to Lumsden, who's having a great second half. Fields that, doesn't like the swing to Jansen. Instead looks back to Martin and goes to the break side. Martin's able just to steal that away from Mathis Ty. And then runs the give-go here with Logan Lee, and then out to space to Lumsden, and that will do it. The final score, 15-8. Cannons with some energy as they take the W. First game and first win of the tournament, and doing it on tape in a rather emphatic win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 breaks that game.
9 breaks. That's a D-line that knows what they're doing. Across the board, they had excellent pressure. They were disciplined defensively. And then when it came to being on offense, they were, often willing to bounce the disc around, get in the end zone, or stare up for 8 stalls and then hit the guy streaking towards the end zone for the upline throw. But whichever way you cut it, the Cannons had a good game and were the better team in that game.
So we will be streaming 2 more games today. Our next round is going to be, make sure I get this right, Chain Reaction and Team Toba in the women's division starting at 12:30. So we'll be back with you on stream for that. In the meantime, we're going to take the 40-minute break and get all the, the updates from other results and see if there's any upsets happening yet. So Clay Howlett and Jonah Lee Ash signing off here. You can join us in 40 minutes. See you soon. Yeah, anything you want to change? right away I wasn't getting the sense where you're gonna do that, and then I started waiting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, he's gonna